Okay, so now that we know the decision of the majority draw stands by the New York State Athletic Commission, of course, the back and forth amongst fans and spectators who believe Gervonta Davis taking a knee should have been ruled a knockdown, and those who disagree will obviously be spilling out up until there's a rematch. And because most are demanding an immediate rematch, I just want to point a couple things out that the majority may have forgotten about or completely overlooked. Now, we know that Lamont Roach has been very vocal before and even after trying to get the decision overturned. I mean, it's gotten to the point where some folks might even disagree with Roach getting his lawyer involved and flat out accusing him of pulling a Devin Haney with a lawsuit. Roach let it be known that he didn't sue anyone and elaborated that even though he couldn't get the decision changed, he's looking forward to part 2, in simpler terms, the rematch. So with the WBA president, Gilbert Mendoza, already proposing that he was contemplating a vote with the championship committee regarding a rematch that if declined by Tank could result in Davis being stripped of his WBA lightweight championship, it's pretty much safe to say that a rematch more than likely will be happening sooner rather than later. And because the bout ended in controversy, this is probably the best decision for all parties, being the fact that what's done is already done. Tank took a knee and pretty much got away with it, but it's like Keith One-Time Thurman said in a more recent interview. Would we rather have the decision being overturned and be satisfied with Roach getting his victory that way, or would we rather see the two fighters run it back with a second chance to right whatever wrongs there may have been in the first fight? I personally am all for the rematch because it's a win-win for both fighters. Like, even if the decision was overturned for Roach, a rematch would be better for the sport of boxing, being that Gervonta Tank Davis is the top dog, and with him having to face or overcome some adversity, the generosity of the draw being upheld, and seeing Tank bounce back from all the critics and naysayers would only make a rematch against Lamont Roach the biggest fight of his career thus far. And Lamont Roach pretty much making a name for himself overnight amongst the casual fans by going toe-to-toe with the biggest star of his era on some Rocky Balboa type shit, not only gives him a chance to redeem what he believes he was robbed of, but it also puts him in a position to rack up on yet another nice payday as somewhat a pardoning gift in the event that it doesn't work out. It's must-see TV, and it brings a lot more noise to the 135-pound division, a division that coincides with the 140-pound division as the hottest weight classes in the sport of boxing today. I mean, when you have underdogs like Lamont Roach popping up out of the woodworks from 130 and actually becoming a threat, it makes so guys like Tank, Shakur, and Lomachenko stop fucking around and start facing one another. It makes so Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson stop all this bullshit brother talk like Ken and Ryu never had to face each other. Add all that in with the fact that the Turk, His Excellency, has Ryan, Rolly, Haney, and Teofimo all on the same card come this May, and it gets harder for folks to argue that this bunch is what draws fans in the most this day and age. Make no mistake about it, these lightweights are basically the heavyweights of their generation for the simple fact that either of them squaring off would be in high demand by fight fans. You know, the 90s predominantly had Tyson and those heavyweights. We had Oscar De La Hoya as the face with names like Sugar Shane Mosley, Felix Trinidad in that pack. When Mayweather and Pacquiao ran supreme at the 147-pound division with fighters like Miguel Cotto and Juan Manuel Marquez, regardless of the actual weight, they were considered the heavyweights of their generation. This is what we have amongst the 135 and 140-pound divisions. Even if a few of them start campaigning at 147, this is where the majority of the hottest matchups will be found in the sport of boxing today. Whether that be because of talent, bad blood, great marketing, or the pound for pound list, it's what everyone wants to see, and why the more the merrier. You know, we need the Pitbull Cruzes, Lamont Roaches, and George Kambosos Jr.'s of the world, because it forces the bigger names to have to answer each other's calls. And if you're one of those who likes to hang on to the notion of, well, this guy's ducking that guy, and such chose to face this fighter over that fighter, or he's priced himself out, listen, that's been going on forever, bruh. It's nothing new. That's just a little game these fighters play to see what they can gain or control in whatever situation they find themselves in. It has no real effect because guys who want to fight will eventually fight, like Ryan and Tank and Haney and Ryan. So when you see Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez up there getting heated or next level trolling, whatever you want to call it, all that is foreshadowing of what may be next to come. And if that's the case, Tank might be looking to run it back with Lamont Roach Jr. ASAP. Pop off.
How close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
It's very close.
it's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal and it's not far off. I can't give you more than that right now, but what I can tell you is that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think you got dynamics. You've got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused than he has been, not talking about retirement. That's a factor.